What's good, Nerdy Nation? Welcome to the Nerdy Side Up. I'm Lou.
And I'm Ben, and welcome to the show. Welcome to episode 8.
Yes,
How are you, my friend?
I'm very well, sir. How are you?
Yes, very well. It's been a hot minute since we've got together to do one of these.
It has indeed.
Life admin.
Yes,
I love that phrase.
Yes.
Life admin. Life gets in the way
I think we
sometimes.
need to hashtag it.
Yeah, hashtag life admin.
Heard it here first.
Something like that. But yeah, so life admin's got in the way, but we're back.
Yeah.
We're back. We're rolling again.
Ready to rock.
Ready to roll. Lots of things to talk about. And we might as well throw right into it. News, because there's been a direct, there's been a forward, there's been a showcase, there's been lots of stuff.
There's been everything.
But then it kind of makes sense because this is kind of the start of the advertising cycle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, you think about it logically, you're not going to release adverts and all that sort of stuff to build hype for games that are coming sort of Christmas end of the year. You're going to want to have a build up to it. So the cycle's kind of starting now, isn't it?
Snowball rolling.
Yeah. So there have been some bangers. There have been some ones that are hypes for lots of people that I don't understand. And then there's some ones that are absolutely hype for me because of games that I've played previously that are getting a remaster, and all that sort of stuff. So hype across the board. If I may start with the Nintendo Direct,
You may.
because Nintendo Direct is kind of one of those where it's lots of little bits sprinkled in with a couple of bangers.
Yeah.
First banger that seems to be general consensus for a lot of people, but I don't quite get. Maybe it's because I've never played them before. Metroid 4.
Yes, I remember. Do you remember when the first Nintendo DS come out?
Yeah.
The house brick version.
Yeah, the big one.
I had a Metro Prime game on that.
Mm.
I enjoyed it. But
Yeah.
again, it's the first time I played it,
Yeah.
and I know there is a massive following
Yeah,
for it.
they've got a massive fan base.
They have. It's one of those games that sort of does really well, but never has like the advertise. From what I've seen, I may be wrong, but it never really seems to have like adverts during like football or anything like that. It just seems to.
It just seems to exist with their own little niche, don't they?
But they've hit the niche with it. So fair play to them. But yes, I did see it on Nintendo Direct, and do you know what? I probably would buy it.
Yeah,
and give it a go.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, it's one of those where like I've never seen anything for it. I've never played it. It's never really been something that has grabbed my attention. But what did grab my attention from the Nintendo Direct, Legends of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom.
Yes, this blew up.
Yeah. I mean, you play as Zelda.
Yeah, well, it's the first time, isn't it?
It must be the first time.
I
don't think I can remember a previous game where you actually play as Zelda. You always Link. Zelda's always the one you need to go and rescue or save and all that sort of stuff. So real switch up, and I actually really like the style of gameplay. The style of character it is the old, almost shrunk down chibi-fied style.
Yeah.
It's I might get that. I might get that at launch. It's one of those that just looks so good, and it really sort of. I think it kind of saved the Direct in some ways. I know Metroid 4.
Yeah, I sometimes think with Nintendo Direct, it sinks or swims.
Yeah,
and
100%.
I think the last few and previous ones before we did the podcast that we've messaged about whilst they've been on, there's so much hype for it. Where everyone's like Nintendo Direct, yes, and then it's like. Where was all the good stuff?
Yeah.
But this Nintendo Direct has probably been one of the best ones with
100%.
with the Zelda, and I think they just dropped it at the right moment because it was flagging a little bit.
Yeah, 100%.
And then all of a sudden, grenade in the room, shut the door, boom,
hype's
Zelda,
hype's back. Yeah, 100%. Those were the two sort of mainstay takeaways that I took from the Nintendo Direct. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the Zelda game. And again, if there's Metroid fans out there, please help me understand the hype, because I'd
be interested to hear it. Yeah,
but people were buzzing about it, which is great. Moving on, COD 6.
Yes, COD 6. Apparently, I haven't checked this fact, but it's the most watched COD trailer on record since like the first Call of Duty got out.
Sounds about right though, because it's just such a sort of reimagination of what first-person shooters. It's kind of grabbed the first-person shooter and has instilled the essence of a first-person shooter, because you can't take that away. First-person
No, you'll
shooters
never
across
take
the
that away from
board
God. Yeah.
are very, very similar, and everyone will compare them to Call of Duty because it's a first-person shooter.
Yeah.
That is what happens. However, they've put like so many new sort of like I'll put my teeth in. I'll try again.
Go on.
Innovative twist, with the 360 prone and making it more humanoid and stuff like that. Like, you don't just dive forward, you can fling yourself around corners, and you can run just as fast forward as you can backwards and stuff like that. Like, you don't run forwards and walk backwards. Human beings can run backwards, we can run sideways. So all this sort of new sort of making it slightly more realistic, I actually think is probably one of the reasons why it's the most watched COD trailer on record.
Yeah, and I think it's quite good in a way that, because obviously where it's like it's set in the early 90s, isn't it? So you've got like global politics, by like characterized by end of would be the Cold War, and stuff like that. So I think it might get me back into Call of Duty. I think we said on a previous podcast, might have been the last episode, that I have fallen out of love with Call of Duty, and I haven't brought the last probably 5 or 6 games.
Yeah,
I'm always interested to see how it goes. So
I may have to be a Christmas noob for it this year and just test the waters and see what it's like from other people's perspective before I go shelling out. However much it's going to be.
I won't get it on launch.
No,
that's for sure.
There's way too much going on.
There's far other games coming out.
Star Wars Outlaws and the new Assassin's Creed and all this sort of stuff that are coming out, like the new Zelda, potentially, whenever that comes out.
I will be one of those annoying Christmas noobs.
Yeah, I think I'll be something similar, depending on how the launch goes and sort of how people take to it, and how the new bits that have been instilled into what it is. We'll see how it goes, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing how the world takes this new spin on a tried and tested sort of first person shootery style game. And like you said, I think I mentioned it on a different podcast as well. X Defiance kind of half got me back into first person shooters.
Yeah, that was last episode.
Yeah, so maybe that and the new Call of Duty with its new bits might get me back into it. I'm not 100% sure. My reflexes are not what they used to be, so I'll probably be terrible at it. But you never know; it might get you back into it.
Yeah.
Speaking of X Defiant, Ubisoft Forward, I quite enjoyed that, and I think there are 2 reasons why I quite enjoyed that, and I think you'll agree with me. There was an Assassin's Creed sort of gameplay-esque trailer within it. It's no secret here on the Nerdy Side Up, we're massive Assassin's Creed fans.
Yes, we are.
And that looked good. Again, kind of gave me Evie and Jacob vibes with the 2 different styles and the 2 different characters and all that sort of stuff. I'm really looking forward to it. That's definitely a game I'm going to get on launch day. I'm super, super pumped for that.
Yeah,
it looks incredible.
I think that might be the Nerdy Side Up Game of the Year award when we review at the end of the year.
Maybe.
I think we got a winner already.
Yeah, quite possibly, but we'll see.
We'll see what the year brings.
Yeah, I think the Nerdy Side Up Game of the Year award for 2026 is going to be something else that Ubisoft launched a little teaser for, which is Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. I cannot tell you how many days of my life I pumped into that trilogy of franchise on the PlayStation 2. Take me back to when the PS2 launched. I actually got the Prince of Persia: Sands of Time PS2. That was what I got. So nice. I got the Sands of Time was the first game that I got on PS2. So it was a game that I really got into, and I bought the other 2 of the original sort of a trilogy, and it was just so good.
Yeah, I can agree. I definitely spent many of hours on that. Like literally coming home from school, throwing my school bag down, turning the PlayStation 2 on, and Prince of Persia.
Yeah, unbelievable game. And I remember, the Sands of Time, and I remember this because the third one, the 2 Thrones, I've completed on all difficulties numerous times over. The second one, The Warrior Within, I've completed a couple of times. It's a very, very long story.
Yeah.
The Sands of Time I finished once. And I remember finishing it once, and it took me until I was significantly older to finish it once, because I didn't realise how not far into the game I was when I had to fight my father, who had been turned into a sand monster, and I struggled with it because you couldn't vault over the top of them. You couldn't do the slice up, jump over the top of them, slice back down again, and then stab them with the dagger of time. And that was like 19% into the game. And I never twigged that it was so early. I never realised how much game I still had to play.
That boss battle was set up as if that was the final
100%
boss battle. And then you do it, and it's like, I'll finish the game now. And then it's like,
no, I haven't. I've still got a significant amount left to do. I really, really hope that all they're going to do, and genuinely all they're going to do, is they're going to do absolutely nothing but make it look pretty.
Upskill it,
Make it look pretty. I want it to be exactly the same, but then what I don't want it to do is I don't want it to fall into the realms of like Shadow of Colossus and Skyrim and stuff like that, where the remasters didn't feel as good as it was first time round. It didn't quite.
I think it's a classic aske of if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. However, am I going to pour my money into it? Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. Am I going to chuck my money at that? Because I think it was a beautiful game when I played it then. It was going to be a stunning game when I play it now.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it like upskilled for like PS5, Xbox. Like
100%.
Like graphic.
Yeah.
And who knows, it may even come to the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah. I mean, I won't buy it on the Nintendo Switch because
I won't.
In the nicest way possible, the Nintendo Switch needs an upgrade. It needs
that wasn't mentioned. Was that mentioned in Direct?
No.
Everyone rumoured, didn't they? They was hoping that there'd be a Nintendo Switch 2.
It needs it, quite frankly, because the thing with Nintendo, slight tangent here, but like the thing with the Nintendos aren't built for power and quality. They're built to be a handheld game that you can play on the TV. And
the games that you like want to do handheld on a smaller screen.
Yeah,
you don't want a lot like going on in the background. Like, like, for example, like say, just at a pick, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, they were quite easy games. If you were sat in the bus or sat in a car for ages, you could play.
There are bits in it. So like you go through Viridian Forest in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, because there's so much going on. It's basically a slideshow when you're playing it in handheld mode. And there's too much going on because it's not built for that sort of stuff.
No, exactly.
So as much as great, I can play it on a bus or on a plane or something like that, I won't want to, because I don't want to compromise what I'm looking forward to, which is the game looking stunning, more so than the actual gameplay of it. Because I know the gameplay.
Big ass TV screen.
Yeah,
the Prince of
Persia. 100%. But yeah, we need a new Nintendo. They need to pull something out of that. But yeah, I think that was all from the Ubisoft Forward. There was a couple of other sort of bitty games that I thought, that looks interesting, and a few sort of like some of the sort of top-down sidewards Prince of Persia's look quite cool, but it's not really a bit of me game, to be honest with you. But apart from that, I think that's all that I had from the Ubisoft.
The two that I was really hyped for that I saw was, so you've got Doom: The Dark Ages.
Oh, okay.
Now,
again, not a game that I really got into, but I will follow your lead on this one.
For me, Doom, like the soundtrack from every game is just awesome. Like it kind of hypes you up to just like go full guns blazing and just literally go, like I say, go all out. So for the Dark Age, obviously, it is where set in medieval times. So I'm looking forward to see how that works out with like the way Doom is, but in medieval times. So from what I get from the trailer, like we see the Marine, he's got a weapon that uses like skulls of his fallen enemies as like ammunition. So it like grinds them up and then he just shoots them out as like razor sharp projectiles.
That's hilarious.
I mean,
I'm here for that.
Yeah, who wouldn't be? And then as well as that, I think this sort of just like is on par with the like skull crusher grind or whatever it's going to be called. He gets his shield out, he pulls like a cord, and it doubles up as like a chainsaw on the shield.
Okay, that's
which
cool.
Like you can like throw as like a frisbee and like just cut the demons in half, and
Yeah, unreal.
yeah. And again, like I said, it's the metal soundtrack is back, so I can't wait for that. It's got all the feels of like classic Doom in all the right ways. It's over the top, it's beautiful, and it just looks cool as hell.
Yeah.
Also, he's got a cape. I mean,
what's not cool about a cape?
I know why they say not all heroes wear capes,
but some
I
of
think
them
it just adds to the effect.
Yeah,
Doom.
absolutely.
So the Dark Ages for me, it just looks metal as hell, and I cannot wait to dive into
absolutely.
this. Another one which I'm a fan favourite of, Gears of War.
Again, it's a game that I never got into.
Oh.
Yeah, it was weird. Growing up, it was like I didn't like shoot 'em up games until my teenage years when I started looking at Call of Duty and stuff like that. But the shooty games that I played were just Call of Duty.
Yeah.
I didn't really dive into the world of shoot 'em ups like guns and all that sort of stuff. I was very much give me a sword, give me a wand, give me magic powers and stuff like that. Things like Skyrim, Dynasty Warriors, and all that sort of stuff. So again, I'm going to kind of let you run with this one.
Yeah, so it's called The Story of E-Day. So it's set 14 years before the first Gears of War game.
Oh, okay.
And we get to see like a young Marcus Phoenix and Dom Santiago.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm proper hyped that they're back in it.
Oh, okay.
Like Marcus is like, he's the face of Gears of War.
Okay, fair enough.
And basically, so it's them returning home to face a new nightmare. The Locust Horde. They're like subterranean monsters. They come up from beneath, and it's all about them laying siege on humanity. So it's kind of like a prequel to the first Gears of War. But
nice.
Again, I've loved the series, so yeah, I'm hyped for this. So potentially there's a collector's edition. I will.
You will be getting. I know you love a collector's edition.
Well, I did get the collector's edition of Gears of War 5, which come with a 1:1 scale replica of the Lancer. I think I sent you a picture of it.
Yeah, you definitely did. 100%. It's something that I will not fully understand, but fully nerd out on. That's for sure. More. A big thing came out today. I saw the new Captain America: A Brave New World trailer dropped.
Yes, that came out of nowhere, really.
Almost, yeah. I felt like it came out of nowhere. I felt like it was kind of just.
But then again, we have been focused just on like Deadpool and Wolverine. Like, there's so many because they're on their like world premiere tour, don't they? Like, coming out. I know they've been in London recently and stuff. So I think that my radar's just been honing in on that. But yeah, I remember just going on Instagram, and it was there, and I was like, "What the hell is this?"
100%.
My first thought actually was, "Is it going to be?" It was a Disney TV series, and I was a bit like, "Oh, here we go again."
Yeah, to be honest with you, so. Although, yes, the hype and the focus have been on Deadpool and Wolverine and stuff like that, I've still been watching Disney Plus. I've still been keeping an eye on the Disney things. Like, we'll come on to it a little bit, but I've been watching The Acolyte and I've been watching things like that. And there's been no sort of like, there's a new trailer coming or anything like that. No. It just kind of popped out of nowhere. Which was quite interesting. However,
it was handy for us for this episode.
Absolutely, yeah, because it slotted straight in. What were your thoughts on it, though? As a comic book connoisseur that you are,
what?
It'd be interesting to hear your thoughts on it because you probably understand a little bit more deeper what the characters are and stuff like that. You probably haven't had the opportunity to deep dive it. We'll deep dive it next time, and we'll do it properly. I haven't had the
opportunity to deep dive.
Yeah.
The thing is, I am not the biggest Captain America fan.
Fair enough.
I don't know why. I've just never really took to it, if that makes sense. And again, because it's the Falcon, isn't it?
Yeah.
I never really liked the Falcon either. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I will go and watch it, and I probably will love it.
Yeah, 100%.
And I will do like my deep dive into it. the one thing that stood out for me, which I was actually really hyped for, was right at the very end when you see Red Hulk. That I'm interested to see how he comes into play.
Because the other thing that I thought was quite interesting with Red Hulk, and it's I think it's one of the movie posters, is it's Hulk holding the outside of Captain America's shield, but he's bending the vibranium.
Yeah.
So some sort of background story in relation to that, you'll probably find it in your deep dive, and I look forward to that when it comes. But yeah, it was such a cool looking promo poster, and it was really it was a real breath of fresh air that it wasn't the old sort of like Avengers Infinity War promo poster type things, where they've all got like the floating heads staring off into the distance, and it's just all of them there and all that sort of stuff. It was a bit more poetic and a little bit more sort of like a little bit more different, which was quite nice. But I look forward to the deep dive as and when it comes, probably on the next episode. And yeah, it's coming out February next year, isn't it? So
yes, I believe it is.
So Valentine's trip to the cinema without our significant others.
Yes,
but yeah,
sorry, love.
But yeah, so interesting to see. Interesting to see more information and more details on that when it comes out. So
homework for me.
Yeah, homework for you. Deep dive. What's not homework is Pokemon, the TCG company. Why? They're not listening to us, are they? They just definitely didn't listen to us on the last one. There's a new set that's been announced.
I know, shock.
They need to stop. This is becoming ridiculous now. I think what they're doing is they're losing the sort of, don't get me wrong, they look cool. I might collect them. I might not collect them. I'll probably open some at some point. It's one of those things.
Yeah.
People are going to buy them. Your diehard collectors are going to buy them and stuff like that. But I just think it's losing the sort of the value of collecting because there's so many.
And I also think there's not enough hype now. Like you kind of get hyped about, like you get hyped for example, like you've got Shrouded Fable coming out on the 2nd of August. Like even before you could pre-order it on some websites, Stellar Crown was announced.
Yeah,
it's like let Shrouded Fable have its hype.
Other TCGs and other sets,
because I think that's like September, October. So unless you've got like a fuck ton of money, you are not going to. No one would be able to complete that set.
No,
within the time frame that they're releasing.
100%.
And don't get me wrong, like I say, we both love Pokemon. Like it's not,
and we're both collectors of cards and all that.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I'll probably pre-order the ETB because the Noctowl promo. It's something different. I quite like it.
It's an interesting choice of card as well.
And that's what I like with the ETBs. Like the promos aren't just like your Charizard, your big cards. They're sort of like low-level cards that probably are like...
I think Noctowl's probably the most forgettable Pokemon to be a promo card from recent memory. Even the last few ETBs, you think you've had Charmander, you've had Lucario, you've had all these cards
Snorlax and stuff,
that are... Like, if you showed someone who had a vague idea about what Pokemon is, they'd probably be able to pick them up quite quickly.
Yeah.
Like, some of the Gen 2 Pokemon, because, like, notorious for being weak Pokemon and useless in battle and all that sort of stuff, don't get the hype as what they are. So to see some of the lesser cards get a little bit of a...
I think it's quite nice to see that.
I think it's great, but my lord, it needs to slow down. You think about it, like... You're right. You can't get the hype. Like everyone was hyping about Shrouded Fable because it was the Shrouded Fable one, the one that was focused on Eevee and the evolutions and all that. One of them was focusing on Eevee and the evolutions. That's what and they were talking about it in the same sort of realm as the Moonbryon from Evolving Skies and stuff like that. The hype was there for it's going to be another Evolving Skies set. It's going to be worth collecting and all that sort of stuff. And then they've just gone, right, on board with you now, so I'm going to have a new one, and here's a new set, and wow, look at all this. And it's just like
if the Team Rocket set comes out,
which is the rumoured today,
is there going to be like, are they just going to go, oh, that's coming out like in 2 months' time, and then they'll release it, and then in about a week's time they go, yeah, we're bored of that one now, let's release something else.
Or they're going to do what they did with 151 and not make enough to meet demand. Everyone got excited about
I think
151.
that's what they're going to do.
Everyone's going to get excited about the Team Rocket, but then the rest of them are just going to be filling shelves, because no one's going to want to buy them because they're all desperately trying to fund the other bits. Don't know. Just needs to slow down. I get it's a marketing scheme. I get they're a business and all that sort of stuff. Slow down. No, release TCGs and stuff like that, like you release games. Like, slow this. I'm not saying like release one every year or like.
No, they could do we'll do it one every quarter or do two every 6 months, because then at least that gives you time to at least, all right, maybe not master a set, but at least get a good
grip of it and a good sort of like handle of as to whether or not you want to complete the set, because not everyone wants to complete every single set that comes out, do they? But like, you're not going to know if you don't see the cards and you don't get a feel for the cards if you open a couple of packs and all that sort of stuff. But you're never going to get that if there's a new set coming out next week. But I don't want to spend money on that one because I might want to save my money for the next one, and so on and so on and so on and so on. It just becomes just a big revolving door. But there we go.
We shall see.
Yeah. There's our nerdy side up patent pending Pokemon TCG rant. We will move on from that now and move into some movie sort of related stuff.
Yes, another movie one that I saw is Batman Part 2. It's rumoured to be October 2026.
Okay.
I think it was announced that Warner Brothers, obviously picking it back up, Robert Pattinson. See what I did there?
No, I did that.
Yes, thank you. The emo Batman is back.
Yep.
Matt Reeves is going to be the director, and the crew from the first film are set to return. Mm-hmm. So, it looks like it's pretty, the same people involved from before. There's also a rumour that Josh Hartnett and Joel Edgerton. They are rumoured to play Harvey Dent and Two-Face. Mm-hmm. So, okay. It's not official. It's just a rumour that I've seen. Yeah. And there hasn't really been much released other than that.
I mean, if it's coming out in 2026, they probably barely started filming this.
I do believe the script has been started.
Yeah, okay.
But again, like I say, probably just been written down on like back of a packet of fags or something.
100%. I enjoyed the first one of them. I think the biggest quibble that I had with that version of Batman is I thought Robert Pattinson. I just should write myself off for tonight, shouldn't I?
And you turned into me with names.
Apparently so. Robert Pattinson, I thought was a very, very good Batman, but he was a tragically poor Bruce Wayne.
Yes.
Bruce Wayne is that sort of billionaire philanthropist, sort of like head of his company, and sort of he's out there, and he played it as this sort of emo, like depressed, near like tragic tale of woe, and then played Batman in a very, very similar vein. Like it was almost like I could suspect just by talking to you that you could be Batman because you have similar sort of mannerisms and that sort of stuff. Whereas Batman and Bruce Wayne should really be leagues apart.
Yeah, you shouldn't be able to.
But again, it's one of those things that I will watch. I will probably enjoy it, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I don't think there's much else to cover that we've been particularly excited by. News, film, game, TCG sort of related.
The only other one, and I haven't had a chance to do it yet, is obviously Magic the Gathering released their Assassin's Creed.
Oh yeah,
TGC set.
Yeah, I saw that.
I have got some packets.
Oh, okay, interesting.
I just haven't had a chance to open them.
Yeah, no, that sounds cool.
I am looking forward to ripping them. I've seen a few people open some packs, and there has been some lovely cards.
Yeah.
Again, I've never played Magic. I've wanted to. I have downloaded the app on my phone and had a few games. But from like a collector's point of view and an Assassin's Creed fan, I'm willing to collect just for the artwork, because there are some lovely cards.
Yeah, well, when you've ripped them, I'm sure I'll have a look, and I'll probably be in the same boat as you, to be fair. So, no, cool. So moving on slightly from that, there's a few bits and pieces that you've been digging into with some of the people of the world. Yes. Tell me about it.
Yes, I've been quite busy on a few other things. So there's a little Instagram group chat called the Pokemob. Big shout out to all the guys and girls in that. It's just a friendly like group chat. We all do weekly, as you've probably seen. We've got the weekly post where we choose this Friday's post was electric and stuff, where we all choose a card. We all share each other's, just spread the love. We all got love for Pokemon. There's daily chats. We all help each other out, with whatever we can. So it's a nice community to be a part of. If anyone wants to join it, send us a message. We'll get you involved. There's a Discord chat as well. So yeah, it's a nice group to be a part of. So again, big shout out to the Pokemob. What else have I got? A couple of really exciting things. Some affiliate schemes that we've been very privileged to join. Bulk Box.
Talk to me about Bulk Box.
So you always have loads of spare Pokemon cards, don't you? You always got that
much bulk. Much bulk.
They're eco-friendly boxes. It's the box with the bare necessities. As I keep saying, it's my little joke with them. It's in our Instagram on our link tree to their page. You can get 10% off. They're great boxes. Again, it's not only for Pokemon. It's for like Magic, Lagana, Yu-Gi-Oh,
any TCG.
Think of, they fit perfectly in like the IKEA Kallax boxes. They're great for like transporting your bulk to shows and things like that. So if you are interested, check them out. They are some really nice boxes. For a box.
It does exactly what it says on the tin. They're there for your bulk. They're there for your to just keep the stuff that you would throw in a box and that could potentially get damaged. To keep them nice, to keep them good, because you never know. Actually, some of that bulk you might want to re-dig up and sort of look at later down in life, and the fact that they're sort of like eco-friendly and they cover a whole range and variety of actual like cards that can fit in the box. It's just brilliant. Like we will use them, we've using them, and lucky enough that they've jumped on board, and you get a 10% discount if you use the code NerdySideUp10. So we're in for a win-win. What's not to love? Do you know what I mean?
The other affiliates, I have shared it on the page, but I'm going to mention it. We have been lucky enough to join the guys at Collectibles on their affiliate scheme. Again, so happy to be a part of it.
Absolute legends. They are two of the greatest lads.
They've put the time and the effort in. I know, speaking to Josh on a regular basis, every time I talk to him, he's always working. He never stops. So happy to be a part of the journey with them. I know there's some exciting news in regards to 626 coming out. I can't wait to share that with you guys. It's absolutely awesome. I have used 626 myself on some cards, and
it just comes up so good.
It is.
And also, if you don't trust yourself to do the cards, I'm pretty sure Josh is.
Yes, he does.
He's doing a cleaning service. So
and also
absolutely.
On their YouTube, there is like tutorial,
videos, how-tos and stuff like that using their products. Their products are they're great, And
I would also recommend, if you've got a base set Charizard that you really like, are skeptical about using it, try it on energy cards. Let's face it, energy cards are
disposable. Bulk,
the code cards, just this scratch, use it on them, get used to it, and you will not regret it.
100%.
I've used it myself. I've seen obviously Josh use it at shows and stuff, and honestly, I have seen him clean like Charizard and stuff like that. and I know he's always as nervous as hell. Who wouldn't be? But honestly,
he's got the gentleness of touch. So if you're not
and
fully convinced,
not just with Pokemon cards either, but that's another story.
If you're not fully convinced to do it yourself, utilize his service, and it's just again, links in the link tree. Follow both Bulk Box and Collectibles. We're really, really proud and privileged to be a part of their crew, and we will fight and defend them until the cows come home, because we believe in what they do just as much as they do. Speaking of Collectibles, he did do a few touch-ups on my Poncho Pikachu before I sold that. That went off to be graded. Grades come back. PSA 8. We said it wasn't perfect at the time.
We did.
Brilliant card, brilliant grade, and On Fire Trade-In, who bought the card off me, has done all right out of it, really, and because he's managed to...
Probably not a bad day at the office.
He's managed to do a cheeky little trade for the PSA 8 Poncho Pikachu. He's got a Gengar VMAX in a 10, an Espeon Alt Art in a 10, and a base set Zard in an 8. You can't go wrong with that, really, can you?
No, I've had worse days at the office.
Yeah, we've all had worse days. And that Poncho Pikachu was checked over it and given a couple of touches up by Josh at the Kent Subcentre card show. So yeah, everyone's a winner.
Oh, yes.
And yeah, just we trust in the system, and the system trusts in us.
Exactly.
Speaking of the Subcentre, new card show event thing they've got going on?
Yes, Saturday the 7th of September this year, back at the Ashford International Hotel. Tickets are on sale now. Mm-hmm. Head on over to their Instagram, Facebook. The links are all on there. They've got free announcements. They've got where's my notes? They got Emily Baver, Jarvis Salas, and Laurie Himes. Obviously, Jarvis is Disney Lacana artist. Emily and Laurie, they've done various voice actors for Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!
You name it,
they've done it all over that. So yeah, keep your eyes out, buy tickets. That's this year. We've got the Lincolnshire card show, which is being run by Pokemon Mel. Again, absolutely, she's so lovely. She's so kind. Again, she puts the hours of dedication in. It's going to be a really good show. That's the 26th of October this year. Tickets are on sale. Again, I know she's putting in the effort, and again, we will support in any way that we can. We will share all our posts. So yeah, if you're not following Pokemon Mel, follow her and follow the Lincolnshire card show as well on Instagram.
Yep.
And there's also another one in Thanet. It's going to be hosted by Sai, the Pokemon guy.
Yeah.
It's going to be at Quex Barn on the 24th of August this year. It's the first one in Thanet. Obviously, I know we had the Kent one, but this is Thanet.
Yep.
I know he's a really good guy. He's got some awesome cards that are going to go to the show for sell and trade and that. So if you're local to the area, I definitely recommend it. I don't think that the tickets are like mega money. They are on sale now. Head on over to his page and you'll find the link in there, the tickets. I think that's going to be a really good little small one to start with, but I think there's going to be potential there to grow. And the other card show, which we cannot wait for, it's the 29th and 30th of March next year. It's the Oxford Card Show, which is being hosted by RR Collectibles and Collectibles. Again, Richie and Josh, I talk to them as well, obviously on a regular basis, and they are putting in the hours and the effort on this.
Indeed.
I know they've got an MMA fighter there whose name I cannot remember. Ben, you can look that up for me now. Yeah. They have got some really big names coming up. So honestly, watch this space, follow the Oxford Card Show on Instagram, and also please follow RR Collectibles and Collectibles if you don't already. I know they've just had a rebrand. Their logo was awesome, but the new one is
so sleek. The MMA fighter, Brad One Punch Pickett.
That's the one. I knew it was Brad.
yeah.
I could see it in my head, but I couldn't remember the second name, and I didn't want to mess it up.
Yeah, 100%.
So he's going to be there. He's going to be signing autographs.
Yeah, 100%.
And I must admit, I'm not the biggest MMA fan, but I have read up to him, and he has got an awesome career.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
What he's achieved in his time is absolutely amazing. So if you love your MMA, there's also going to be other stuff. Obviously, it's a card show, so there's going to be vendors and traders there. But it's all sorts. It's going to be really good, and I cannot wait for this. So
already booked it off. I've already booked it off.
There you go.
Will definitely be there. So we'll definitely be there for that one. So there's some real sort of exciting things and bits and pieces coming up this year, next year.
The diary's looking good for the end of this year and beginning of next.
Diary is filling up swiftly.
Yes.
Speaking of diaries and things filling up swiftly, I just want to give a shout out to whoever voted for us in the podcast of the year.
Yes, the UK Ireland card show
podcast of the year. We were nominated. We were fortunate enough to be nominated. The vote's now closed. The show's tomorrow. We find out if we've won or
I already feel like we have won.
Just by being nominated, absolutely. But we find out if we are lucky enough. But even if we're not, like anyone who voted for us, I just wanted to give a big shout out and just say thank you.
Yeah,
now,
it really means a lot.
Yeah, it was nuts. It was nuts.
Considering, like I say, we haven't.
We're 8 episodes in.
Yeah.
Yes, we've been going for probably 18 months now, but we are only 8 episodes in, and to be sort of like noticed and nominated, it was great. Yeah, it really
did hit home, and as well, good luck to everyone else.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a lot of different categories.
Yeah,
and
it's a cool looking.
Voted, we do follow. So
it's a cool looking.
Good luck to everyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, hopefully we might have some exciting news in the next couple of days.
If not, no worries.
If not, we will cease to exist.
Indeed, we won't because someone's given us homework.
Yes,
who's given us homework?
We've got the Art O Toads challenge.
Yep. We're getting there.
I'm doing pretty well actually. I've gone all out on it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
It's probably going to look absolutely dreadful because I cannot boil an egg. So God knows how I'm going to draw something.
Yeah.
But no, I've enjoyed the challenge. We're getting there, and hopefully in a few weeks' time we will be able to submit it and get laughed at, and then get judged
by a proper artist because we are neither.
No.
And following on from that, some homework for everyone for next week. Sent in by
Shelby on Safari. Also, again, an absolute legend. She's lovely. She listens to the podcast with her pet cat, who's our number one fan, apparently.
Yeah,
so big shout out to those guys. So the homework that she says is, what film or TV show do you find yourself quoting on a daily basis?
Yes.
I've got quite a few that I won't just have one.
No, I'll have a few, to be fair. There'll be loads. I'm going to have a large number of them, to be honest with you. And that's a great bit of homework. I reckon we'll probably have an entire podcast episode just quoting stuff next week. But yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yes.
Great bit of homework.
Yeah, so get your answers into us, whether it's like, direct message or however, let us know and we'll give you a shout out and we'll read your answer out. But yes, so a big thank you to Shelby and Peter the cat.
Peter the cat. What a great name for a cat.
Yeah.
I love, again, completely tangential, I absolutely love it when people call their pets human names. Like Dave the dog.
No, it's talking of that. I saw on Facebook that someone had an Airbnb, but their dog was there, and it's called Kevin. And they sent the person a message going, "Kevin might try to get in bed and sleep with you." And the person wrote back going, "Like, what on earth are you going on about that?" "Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I meant to say Kevin's the dog." So,
world class. Yeah, I love it when
or naming your dog Shark and going to the beach.
Yeah. Shark!
Yes.
Shark! Yeah, quality. And then something not necessarily nerdy, but something that we'll quite enjoy.
Yes.
England have made it to the European Championship final.
It's coming home.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Believe.
I tell you what, I don't know how we've got there.
No.
We don't deserve it.
No.
We've probably played 46 minutes of decent football throughout the
from
entire
start,
tournament.
Yeah.
However, we're not easy to beat. Therefore, I still think Spain will beat us. I think Spain are an exciting young talent. However, do you think I'm going to be in the moment thinking it's coming home at the time? Absolutely.
Yes.
Spain will win 2-1.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I'm going to go. I'm going to go 1-1. I'm going to go penalties.
Oh God.
England 5-4 on penalties.
Yeah. Okay. You're crazy.
I am crazy.
You're nuts. But yeah. Wherever you're watching it, if you're watching it, stay safe out there, people.
Yes,
And
yes,
hopefully,
please stay safe.
Hopefully, we enjoy an absolute crackerjack of a final that makes this tournament a little bit more worthwhile, because it's been very, very dull for lots of it. There have been a few good games, but more often than not, they've been very dull, very boring.
It's been the best Euros.
Set the world on fire, but England might win it, and you know what? We'll always remember it if they do.
Yep, it's a game of two halves.
Indeed. And that's all we've got for you today, guys. So thank you very much for joining us. And as always,
stay nerdy.